Close your eyes, and let the world of ancient Rome rise again, its marble pillars shining like frozen lightning, its streets alive with the scent of smoke, wine, and danger. Rome was a city that pretended to be eternal, but inside its palaces, everything was fragile, trembling, and built on secrets. And among those secrets walked a woman whose name history still whispers with awe and fear, Valeria Messalina. She did not enter power quietly. She stepped into it like a storm gliding into a calm sea. The day she arrived at the imperial palace as the wife of Claudius, the man who would unexpectedly become emperor, the guards felt a strange stillness in the air. It was as if the palace breathed differently. Some said it was her beauty, others said it was her ambition, but everyone could feel it. Something had shifted. The palace was a world of masked, smiling servants who hated each other, senators whose hands were soft but hearts were sharper than daggers, generals who bowed while plotting rebellion. Power was a game, and the board was crowded, but Messalina learned the rules faster than anyone had ever seen. She watched, listened, studied, and soon she knew every weakness, every desire, every fear. Claudius, the emperor, was gentle and uncertain. He trusted too easily, forgave too quickly, and believed lies too often. Messalina saw this not as a flaw, but as an opportunity. While Claudius signed decrees, she rewrote alliances. While he hesitated, she struck. While he dreamed of peace, she dreamed of power. Rome began to whisper her name. Her beauty was legendary eyes that could soften a stone, a voice that could melt iron, and a smile that made even the proudest men forget their pride. But behind that beauty lived a mind sharper than any sword in the empire. She could ruin a man with a single word, destroy a family with a single glance, and rebuild her influence within a single night. Servants swore they saw her wandering the palace long after midnight, barefoot on cold marble floors, her shadow stretching across the pillars like a silent omen. Some said she was restless, others said she was searching, and a few whispered she was hunting. No one truly knew what she wanted, but no one doubted she could take it. Her appetite for influence was endless, and soon, her appetite for pleasure became the talk of Rome. Stories multiplied, stories of senators who lost themselves in her charm, stories of noblemen who loved her and regretted it, stories of soldiers who knelt before her as if she were a goddess instead of an empress. Rome feared her. Rome admired her. Rome could not stop talking about her. But even this was not enough. Then came the night that would carve her name into history forever. It began with a whisper rolling through Rome like thunder beneath the ground. Messalina is planning something unthinkable. No one knew what it was. No one imagined it could be real. But Rome felt the tremor of something monstrous approaching. And then the impossible happened. Messalina married another man in secret. Not behind closed doors, but in a public ceremony filled with music, torches, dancers, and laughter that felt like a blade pressed to the empire's throat. Her chosen groom was Gaius Silius, the most handsome man in Rome, strong, admired, and ambitious enough to stand beside an empress. Together, they walked into the ceremony as if they were already the new rulers of Rome. People stared in shock. Women hid behind veils. Men wiped sweat from their brows. Even the gods carved in stone above the temple doors seemed to look down in disbelief. An empress marrying while the emperor still lived, and celebrating it like a queen returning from conquest. Rome felt the ground shift under its feet. And far away, Claudius heard the news. The silent, patient, easily controlled emperor suddenly became something else, something Rome had never seen. His shock turned to rage, his sorrow to fury. His voice echoed through the palace like a horn announcing war. Where is Messalina? The soldiers who once bowed before her now tightened their armor. Doors slammed. Horses were saddled. Torches lit the night as Rome prepared to capture the woman who once ruled it with a glance. Messalina fled, her heartbeat thundering louder than the soldiers chasing her. She ran to her gardens, those gardens where she once danced under the moonlight, where the fountains whispered her victories, where lovers once begged for her attention. Now those same gardens felt cold, heavy, and haunted. The wind did not welcome her. The trees did not shelter her. Even the flowers seemed to turn away. For the first time in her life, Messalina felt truly alone. She hid behind a stone pillar, her breath trembling, her hands shaking. Her silk dress, once a symbol of power, now clung to her like a reminder of everything she had lost. The sound of soldiers grew louder. Their footsteps crushed the gravel like a heartbeat counting down to her end. The gates burst open. Moonlight fell across the scene like a spotlight on the final act of a tragedy. Messalina looked up at the soldiers, men who once bowed to her, now raising their weapons. She whispered something, maybe a prayer, maybe a plea, maybe a memory. But whatever it was, it vanished into the cold Roman air. And there, beneath the olive trees, the woman who once controlled Rome with her smile met her fate quietly, tragically, and without the glory she once commanded. Rome tried to erase her afterward. They burned her statues, painted over her name, rewrote her story to make her seem monstrous. But history remembers what empires tried to forget. And Messalina was unforgettable. Some say she was wicked. Some say she was brilliant. Some say she was a woman trapped in a world that never allowed women power, so she seized it with fire in her veins.